Hello everybody, this is AviationFun here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up the SR22 from a cold and dark position in X-Plane 11. So the first thing you want to do is you want to turn the battery 1 and battery 2 on. Now you get your screens firing up and you'll get a beeping. Your alternators on, your avionics on. And now what we've got to do, we've got to press this little button here to go onto the navigation page. So what you can do, you can click this button right here, FPL, that you can put in your flight plan. The next thing we want to do is you want to turn on your nav lights, which basically what the nav lights are, those are these little lights on the end. So the red one, and on the other side there's a bluey green one. Okay, so you can turn on air conditioning if you want, just to make it a nice temperature. You can make your panel lights nice. That looks really nice. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to start the engine. So what we got to do, we got to open the door and shout out clear prop. Okay, now what we do, we close the door, we make sure the mixture is all the way backwards, and what we're going to do is move the start switch. We want to put a little bit of throttle first, put it into the both position, and then hold it in the start position, and then move the mixture up, as you can see that I'm doing right now. And now you can release it. And now what we've got to do, we've got to do a engine test. So what we can do is just make sure your parking brake is set, otherwise we'll go flying forward into the car park, which wouldn't be good. Oh, it's not a car park, but anyway. So what you got to do, this is your engine RPM right here, where it says RPM right there. So what you want to do, you want to move your throttle all the way up so it gets to 1800 RPM. Okay, so it's roughly at 1800 RPM right now. So what we want to do, we basically want to make sure that everything's in the correct position, nothing's in the yellow or the red. And now what we can do, we move it into the left position, and you'll see the RPM drops a little bit there, and then put it in the right position. Basically what this is doing is testing the magnetos, which run the engine, and then put it back into both. And now you can reduce thrust. And now you've got a perfectly running SR22 in X-Plane. So yeah, that is how you start up the SR22 in X-Plane 11. I've got a bonus startup time. Okay, I'm going to be showing you how to start up a Cessna 172 as well. So what you want to do, I'd recommend hiding the yoke by clicking it there, just so you can see better. Now you want to go down here, turn your battery on, and avionics 1 on, your nav lights on, again like we did in the Cirrus SR22, that's got the same lights. Okay, now what you want to do, you want to make sure your fuel shutoff is in. You want to make sure it's in, not out. Your fuel is in the middle, like that. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to turn on the beacon lights, and again open the window or the door and say clear prop, and close it again. And now you want to move the magneto switch into the both position, and then hold it in the start position, and then add mixture, and then we can release it again. And now this one's a little bit different to the SR22 because we don't have the G1000 panel here. We've just got the regular steam gauges. So to do the RPM, we again just move the throttle up to 1800 RPM, around about there. And we want to make sure that everything's in a green zone, which it is. Oil pressure's good. And now we can do the magnetos test. Move it into the left position, there's the RPM drop. And the right position, again RPM drop, and move it back to both. And now we've successfully tested the engine. We can turn on the alternator on, which is basically the generator from the engine. And you can turn your avionics bus 2 on. You can turn your taxi lights on, strobe lights. Actually, not strobe lights now. You want to turn your strobe lights on when you're on an active runway. And now what we can do, we can release the parking brake by pushing this in, just like this. And you are ready for takeoff. Okay, I've got another bonus for you guys. I'm going to be showing you how to take off the Cessna 172. Okay, what you want to do, you just want to put throttle in, release the brakes, and now you will notice that the plane will tend to yaw to the left. That's because of the torque from the engine, so you just want to do almost full thrust, and you will have to put in a fair amount of rudder. And now at around 60 to 70 knots, you want to pull back on the yoke, right about there, just nice and gently. And you want to keep putting rudder in to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and the nose is pointing directly straight. And now you can just gently fly it up into the air. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you really like the video, and make sure to also like the video and turn on those notifications. Bye!